viewers, welcome back to Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. All right. Come on in. Today is the 9th day of Black History Month, and we're going to celebrate it every day that we are on air. So I want to wish everybody a happy Black History Month. Tonight's episode is titled Deepfakes, Disco Biscuits, Doral Cases, and Defamation. Yes, I want to make sure everybody understand that we have a new show day starting here in February. We will be on Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern instead of Wednesdays and Thursdays. So new show day announcement. We will be on Mondays and Thursdays instead of Tuesdays and Thursdays. Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's check out and see who has joined us tonight. Ooh, this is what makes me happy, seeing who's here. Sandra McGee, welcome back to Celebrity Court. Edita, welcome back to Celebrity Court. Brenda K, always great seeing your name. Nisha Phillips, all right, Nisha, welcome back to Celebrity Court. SL Warrior, welcome back. Tracy Odom, always good to see that name. Caramel 1977 Cancer, I think that's from Kentucky, right? She says, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Essie Stone, come on in here. Tanya McNeil, yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Dominic Starr, those emojis take me out every time. Deliria Washington, always great to see your name. Christine R, wouldn't be a show without you. How you doing? Let's see. Lathea Robinson Smith, welcome back to Celebrity Court. Erica P, come on in here. All right, Bambi B Entertainment. All right, you must be new. Come on in here, Bambi. We love to have you. Deaf God, welcome back. Doreen Pierce, welcome back to Celebrity Court. Oh, you saw me on Fox 5 today. Thank you. Saying that I look good. Thank you. I'll take that. Valencia, welcome back. High Maintenance, welcome in. Max Lowe, come on in here. Mimi, Miss Monica, come on in. Everybody, come on in. Yep, you heard me correctly. Tonight on Celebrity Court of Public Opinion, the lies are automated in some cases, the receipts are sworn, and the culture is addicted to all of the chaos. All right, then the first case that we're covering today is a national civil rights attorney, Ben Crump, and a coalition have filed a Federal Trade Commission complaint accusing Google and YouTube of profiting off of AI-generated defamation targeting Black public figures, naming real names and real harm. Our second case tonight, we'll be examining Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby is back in the headlines with a clarification about his infamous Quaaludes deposition. And the internet is like, sir, this is not the part we're confused about. Our third case is James Pearce Jr. Yes, he was just honored at the NFL honors. Well, this case has turned into 5 felonies and a police chase narrative that reads like an NFL pitch, except this is definitely a criminal complaint. And last but not least, we can't keep this man out of Celebrity Court. Yes, we're talking about Stefon Diggs. He gets hit with another lawsuit, allegations of defamation, assault-related claims, and the kind of legal mess that makes your group chat feel like it's about to get juicy. Now, remember, this is not a criminal court. This is the court of public opinion, and that's what makes it so interesting. In this court, I bring the facts, my attorneys bring the law, and you, yes, you, the viewers, you are the one that brings the verdict because you are the jury. All right, court is officially in session. All right, joining us tonight, we have our 2 legal beagles, all men panel, Counselor Weiss, Counselor Carter. Welcome back to Celebrity Court.
Cambio en campo de Jorge por so persecución política. Look, y'all like Spanish so much, I'm just going to speak Spanish from now on. I've been speaking English and it ain't working for me for 58 years. So from now on, all y'all getting Spanish. Y'all like it so much.
You had Krilla.
All right there, Mr. Good Rabbit. We got you. We understand.
Was that even real Spanish? Like, seriously, can you speak
Spanish?
No.
That was made up. Down here in Miami, we know real Spanish. No.
It was that was not. Okay, gotcha. All right, quick reminder, everyone is presumed innocent. We're discussing allegations, charges, sworn statements, and civil claims. We do not issue real verdicts. All right, first up, this isn't just a celebrity mess. This is what Ben Crump is calling a system mess. Yes, you heard me correctly. Ben Crump and an advocacy partner say they filed a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission accusing Google and YouTube of allowing creators to monetize age-generated lies. They said that it has generated fake news videos, fabricated scripts, and a deep fake style content. And they're saying that it's often targeting Black public figures for clicks and cash. Now, here's where this gets personal. Judge Faith Jenkins and her husband Kenny Lattimore are at the forefront of this lawsuit. They've spoken publicly about an online smear campaign that they say used fake receipts and fabricated claims to drive viral traffic. So they've decided that they want to go legal, and when they go legal, they go hard. They get what I guess everybody else does in this case, and is get the #1 civil rights attorney to represent you. Translation, this isn't tea. This is alleged industrialized character assassination is what they're calling it. All right, so for all the algorithms out there who are trying to figure out if they're just belly aching and whining because they're tired of the gay rumors, allegedly, or if this is really something worth fighting, we're going to let the judges, we're going to let our lawyers break it down. But so you know, this is deceptive or unfair practices that the FTC is allowing, is what they're saying. It's partnered with defamation. So they have defamation, they got unfair practices. And then the last thing they're saying is negligent supervision, because the platform has a responsibility and they're failing that responsibility to the individuals being targeted. All right, I'm going to go to you first, Attorney Carter. Explain to me exactly what's going on. And are we really at the point that when you can't stop people from saying that, I guess your husband is not being forthright, that you now sue the platforms where the lies are, alleged lies are posted? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, you know what? I think Attorney Crump will say it better than I do. Let's go ahead and get Attorney Crump on here. He can explain it.
All right, babe, let's see what you got.
A formal complaint with the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, on behalf of victims of this malicious defamation of character. We filed this formal complaint against these foreign perpetrators from India, Pakistan, and Russia.
Okay, so this is my question. All right, let me, before you answer that, Counselor Carter, walk the jury, walk the algorithms through the FTC angle. Like, what would a complaint need to show? Harm as pattern, monetization, and knowledge. What exactly? Because I in my head, the reason why I can't get my head around this is because if you go on YouTube, we're on YouTube. For those who are watching, I'm sure a lot of you guys are on YouTube. There's all types of crazy accusations, all types of crazy drama going on. Half of it looks made up. So why and how are they able to single out Google and YouTube as it relates to these two? Can you help me understand that? Because I see fake stories all over YouTube every day.
Oh, absolutely. And it could have been any platform. You're absolutely right, because the internet is just full of lies. All right. It's called the ignorant for a reason. All right. Because it's all ignorant. All right. All the time. Now, here is the thing is, like you said, there are basically 4 things you have to do to file an FTC complaint. You have to claim that there's some harm going on, that it's not just one thing, it's a pattern, right? It happens all the time, which it does, okay? Monetization, that somebody's getting paid for this, and then that, you know it's happening and you still getting paid anyway because you don't care. And here's the thing that Crump, I guess the problem he has, is that he actually has all of those things together. He's got to get the FTC to agree that it's a problem. But here's why I don't want him to win here. And here's the thing about Crump. I shouldn't say it because I always want Crump to win. Usually Crump is suing on behalf of some brother or sister who was hurt by the police, and I want him to get all the money he can, okay? Right. But here, he going to mess up the internet. And let me give you an example, right? Basically, he's saying that YouTube has an obligation from now on to figure out what's true and only put those things in the algorithm. Think about it. That means that, for instance, this show, before it can get out there, someone will have to scrub this show and find out that we're telling the truth. And we're not always telling the truth. My beard ain't this color naturally. No, it ain't. I'm not gonna tell you what color our beard is, all right, or Shatan's hair. The point is that we all lying a little bit.
How dare you? Don't bring me into your gray age.
And
I got enough gray for all of us. Don't worry.
We don't want YouTube to be the ultimate arbiter of truth, where they have to go through and scrub everything and say, okay, is this true? And if it's true, I'm gonna put it in on a program. Because quite frankly, we all gonna be back to watching regular TV.
Right. So what happened to this concept, Jason, that we can, as long as you say my interpretation or it's what I think, do we lose that freedom of speech with this type of litigation?
I don't think the problem really is the freedom of speech. I think it's the monetization of that freedom of speech. So what's happening is the algorithms are saying, let's pick up this story, let's do this, let's push it to the consumers. People are making money off of that pushing, and that's where the problem is. So they don't want YouTube and all of these platforms to make money off the spreading of false information. If you want to spread false information and nobody's getting paid for it, all right, let it be. But if people are making money off of lies, then that needs to stop. And Crump is saying that it's specifically targeting, his clients, and that's where the problem is.
Okay, so help me understand this then. So if defamation with AI, okay, now that we got AI is huge. If a channel uses a fake voice or fabricated claims, who's realistically collectible? Is it the creator, the platform? Like who's the person you hold responsible? The platform and the creator or the platform? I'm confused.
It's got to be all of the above. I mean, the platform's the only one that's going to have pockets that can be reached. I mean, Crump even said it. It was India, Pakistan, Russia. That's where nobody's going to collect all from anybody outside of the jurisdiction. So what he wants to do is he wants to stop the monetization, because once you stop the monetization, then you're going to put an end to everything. So that's his whole big thing. And like Attorney Carter said, if they do that, then most of us are going to stop scrolling and we're going to go back to watching, the Olympics or something else.
Right, I was going to say, because a lot of these gossip channels, that's what you go on them for, is to hear the salaciousness you go on. So let me ask you this, Attorney Carter, when the algorithm is giving it amplification, right? So that means if you're in that algorithm, they're pushing it out, like you said, right?
Right.
So when the system recommends the lie and promotes the lie and pays for the lie, does that start to look less like neutral hosting, or like participation?
It does. It's participation, but I think the best analogy is, and you got to be grown to see this. All right. So if you, a pre-viability fetus, you under 40 and you live with your mama, let me explain. All right. We used to have these things called supermarkets, and you used to go in there and you didn't just ring up your own stuff. You had a cashier that would ring up stuff, and she was slow. And so while you waited, you looked at the little circulars that were in the line. Right. The Inquirer. Exactly. And so you look at the tabloids, right? And there was Inquirer and all that. They didn't have a lot of scholarly papers in that line. All right. It was all junk and trash. And nobody ever sued the supermarket for pushing the junk and trash. Okay. Because they understood that that's what you wanted, and they would just give you what you wanted. YouTube saying the same thing and said, look, we only push this stuff because that's the stuff y'all watch. And I know that's true because I'm on TikTok. And there's a STEM station. I can learn STEM stuff, and I've never been on it. I'm in here just working like everybody else. So don't act like this is their fault.
But remember, there was a whole thing that that if there was somebody in a swimsuit or somebody in provocative clothing, the stores had to put those covers on top because they didn't want the kids seeing it in the aisles when they were going out with their parents. So they even started enforcing that on the supermarket. So now what? We're going to get bans on everything out there. Like, the FTC is not gonna shut this down.
Yeah, that seems weird to me. So I guess my last question would be, at what point does monetized defamation become a consumer fraud problem? Because that's what they have to argue, right, Attorney Carter?
And it is, but the problem is it's just the way of the world. All right. Since we had the printing press, people have been printing lies, and it's very difficult to say that we're going to hold the printer responsible. And if we could hold the individual responsible, we would. But that fool is a bot somewhere in China, right? And so we're just gonna have to learn to live with it. Maybe some of y'all gonna start fact checking some stuff before you put it on my Facebook page. How about that?
This is really interesting. This is really interesting, actually. I think this is very dangerous, though. All right, really quickly, attorneys, on a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is Judge Faith and Kenny Lattimore's case? Attorney Weiss?
3, maybe a 4.
Oh, a 3 or 4. All right, Attorney Carter?
It's about as strong, or put this way, it's a lot less strong than the rumors going out about Kenny. So I'm gonna say about 2.
About a 2. All right, from AI lies to sworn statements and real world damage, because our next case is a PR clarification that sounds like it was written by somebody who thinks semantics beats memory. This is the craziest thing that we're going to cover ever. Next up, everybody. Yep, you heard me correctly. Bill Cosby is back in the cycle, the news cycle I'm talking about, with a statement from his camp about his 2005 deposition on Quaaludes. Now, the headline version is his rep emphasizes that he did not take, let's be clear, his rep says he did not take the prescription himself, while the underlying deposition content still includes that he admits about obtaining the sedatives with the intent of giving them to women he wanted to have sex with. To the tune of 60 of them have sued him. If I'm not mistaken, right here, you see 30 of the 60. Now, so the public hears, I didn't take them, but I did use them to get sex. Am I hearing this wrong? So for the algorithms, this is what we're talking about. This is a credibility and strategy, I guess, trying to be woven into one. So remember, depositions are sworn testimony. Those words don't disappear because PR tries to reframe them because they're saying he did not take it. But in the civil cases, past sworn statements can become powerful impeachment. Attorney Carter, explain to me exactly why anybody would allow their attorney to admit that they did not take the sedatives, but they did use them to get sex from women.
Yeah. And I have to assume, all right, that Bill Cosby can afford some good lawyers, right? So I'm going to assume there must be some reason they're doing this. And here's the only reason I can think of. And it's not the worst reason. They're going to say, look, yes, this all happened 30 and 40 years ago. And nobody really could possibly remember what happened. But guess what? My client was sober. All right. So your girl, she said it happened, but she was on the Quaaludes. All right. But Bill was sitting there with a Coke and a pudding pop, and he remembered everything because he was sober. That's the only possible explanation I can find for it, is that he's trying to claim that he has a better memory.
Come on, is that what they taught you at Harvard? That's interesting, but that's scary. Jason?
But what? So she doesn't remember because I drugged her so she wouldn't remember, but my memory is better, but I went ahead and drugged her for sex. I don't know which one makes him look worse.
It does. Here's what he's going to claim. Not that, no. I didn't drug them. They came to me because I was the guy with the Quaaludes and the pudding pops. All right. Everybody, I got them. I was doing them a favor. I don't even like the stuff. I was doing it because they like the stuff. Right. And that's going to be his, I presume, his argument. The only argument I could see him making, it's not going to be effective. All right. I don't think so. But it's, it's a strange argument. I would have done something I should do on this show and shut up. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So then he has to say that these women asked him for it voluntarily.
Right.
They knew what they were taking, and it wasn't slipped into their food, their drink, or whatever else it was. I think he dug himself, deeper into that hole. And I think he would have just been better saying, I was so Quaaluded out, I don't remember nothing. That's not going to fly no matter what. But man, this guy just needs to go back to doing Jell-O commercials and pudding pop commercials and get on with his life. I mean, I miss the Huxtables. That's all I got to say.
I'm still trying to understand this logic that Sean stated. Okay, so he can argue that because they were on Quaaludes, they can't recount. That's what you're saying, right?
Right.
how he drugged them with
No, and that they weren't. I didn't drug them. They were begging me for the stuff. All right, they were like, remember how Theo really wanted that Gordon Gartrell? All right, and that's how they were with me. They were coming to me trying to get this Quaalude Gartrell all the time, and I was just being a nice guy. I don't like the stuff, but eventually I was like, look, I'm gonna go ahead and be, I'm America's granddad. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the medicine that you want. I don't really mess with the stuff. It's a bad argument.
But he was a doctor, Dr. Huxtable. Went ahead and prescribed Quaaludes. That's it. Okay, next. We're good.
So let me ask you this. If someone admits under oath that they got drugs to give to women for sex, what exactly is the misunderstanding?
Well, let's be clear. Every bottle of liquor I ever bought was to get sex. All right. So if the person takes it voluntarily, all right, and you look at my freezer now, all right, ain't nothing but stuff I don't drink in there. All right, Alizé, right? And wine, and I'm drinking 99 brand liquor. All right, I'm taking it right to the head. The point is that it's perfectly, sadly, kind of acceptable to as long as people voluntarily take the drugs or the alcohol or whatever it is, to go ahead and that's being a good host.
All right, let's see what the algorithms are saying.
But I think
Colette Davis says laughing my ass off. Leandria 7140 says Quincy Jones says those Quaaludes would make you screw a radiator.
Oh shit! I need to write that down.
Christine R says I think Denise took one of those pills before she sold that shirt. Oh my God, y'all are horrible. SL Warrior says I'm hearing Curtis Mayfield saying I'm your pusher man. Deaf God says Corey Honeycomb learned from Bill Cosby. Leandra 7140 said, didn't Hugh Hefner call them thigh openers?
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Christine R, your girlfriend Jason says, men are weird. I'm locking my cookies in the safe and mailing the key to Jason. Erica P says, y'all got Grandpa Bill on the show. We sure did. Deaf God said, damn, I used to love the Cosby Show. I know, I did too. Let's see. And then Colette
for a couple Quaaludes, he'll love you too. Don't worry.
Colette Davis says, my boo buys liquor all the time to get the mood, to get the party started. And Brenda K says, I guess there's something we don't know. Strange defense to me. Just eat the Jell-O and be quiet. All right. Okay, counselors, tell us, how strong is this case? I guess they just made it stronger against him, right?
Yeah.
So I think Jason's reaction is the one that any jury would have, which is that, oh man, this is even worse, right? And so he didn't help himself.
Right. Jason.
So he made the state have a 9. He made himself have a 2.
2, right? Hey, I agree. I think so too. All right, before we transition to the next to the next case on the docket, let me ask you to do something for it. Please hit that like button. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that share button. Invite some folks over to enjoy the show, which is going to be on a new day now on Mondays and Thursdays at 9:30 p.m. That's Mondays and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. Don't forget to turn on your notifications so you don't forget. And as always, jump down in the chat because I love it when you jump down in the chat. And we got somebody new in the chat, TKTO, that's TikTok Tara. It's all jokes until them handcuffs come. You are right, TikTok Cara. It is jokes until the handcuffs come. And handcuffs when you're in 80-something, that can't be fun. All right, now let's go from the courtroom words to the roadway decisions, because the next case involves a police chase narrative and a felony exposure that can end careers before the season even starts. This is such a sad, sad story. Next up, James Pearce Jr., rookie for the Atlanta Falcons, arrested in Florida on multiple felony charges connected to allegations involving professional basketball player Rickea Jackson. And listen, it's a sequence that escalated into a pursuit chased by the police. Now, reports describe allegations include an aggravated battery with a deadly weapon, stalking type allegations, and fleeing law enforcement, with details that have been laid out that look so bad that it'll make anybody's rap sheet look innocent. His attorney says he maintains his innocence and that what you see is not really what happened. All right, for those watching, this is so much to unpack here. I can't wait to get our counselor Carter to unpack it. But for the algoriters, this is a felony fleeing, right? And this is also enhanced penalties around speeding, danger, chase, injury. Not to mention, he's a professional athlete that was just honored at the NFL honors, and his mother gave such an incredible speech on his behalf, saying he was a great son and he deserved everything that he was receiving. All right, let's go to you, Attorney Carter. Break down the aggravated battery with a deadly weapon allegations, because that's probably what's going to carry the most weight, right? And what does the state have to prove, and how hard is it without video? But before we do that, let's throw to the bailiff to show us a little bit of content around the arrest.
I mean, the one thing that needs to be kept in mind in this whole thing is that this deadly weapon is the car.
Okay, got it. So this is my question, Attorney Carter. Why, when he's getting pulled over, he just got out of a major chase, right? They just chased him for a couple of miles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They finally get him out of the car. Why is he resisting arrest like that? Like, where are you going?
Yeah, no. Well, he thinking he on the football field, he can get around, get to the quarterback. I'm convinced that he permanently think he on the field. Because the way he was acting like he was on the field. Let's break it down what happened here, because we got to get to the actual facts. Okay. So it starts out at 9 in the morning, by the way. All right, that's before you have breakfast. All right, don't get in a high-speed chase. All right, get a good breakfast in you first. All right, because you're not getting food for the rest of the day. You might as well get a good breakfast. All right.
Right.
He pulls. Rakia Jackson is pulling into her house in Florida. In community. I don't know where she coming back from. Maybe breakfast. Maybe somebody else. I don't know. Since December, he's been stalking her. She blocked him. They broke up. He's been calling. He getting new phone numbers, using burner phones eventually. So he's waiting for her outside of her community. She sees his big Lamborghini SUV, because obviously you're not going to miss it for a $400,000 car, right? And so she says, oh, shoot, that fool's crazy, and starts trying to go to the police station. He's behind. She's driving. Yeah, she's driving to the police station. So she was driving her house, sees him and says, whoa, no. And drives to the police station. He's following her. Now we got that scene from Risky Business, right? Where she's look, I'm being followed by Guido, the killer linebacker, right? This fool, they called. They said, look, just go to the police station. He won't follow you there. Yes, he will. And when she gets there and tries to get out of the car, he rams her car.
What?
Yes, in the police station. All right, he was trying to go to jail. I'm telling you, he had a good breakfast because he was sure he was going to jail. All right,
and so he was high.
He must have been all the stuff, because then the police come out and he decided, well, I don't need to stop now. I'm gonna run over one cop and just keep going. Yeah, he hit a cop in the knee, but who knows? And by the way, he apparently don't watch a lot of news, because they shot a white woman for doing that. All right, 2 weeks ago, right? So you don't know what they're gonna do to you. I can't believe he's still alive. But then he decided to go on this high-speed chase with this Lamborghini SUV. My brother, you need to get a smaller Lamborghini. But two, also, they're not going to lose a Lamborghini, right? If it was a Honda Civic, yeah, you might lose it. There's 400 of them on the road. There's only you, all right? They're going to catch you. And so they catch him, and we see the end of it there. But the bottom line is that this is a situation where I got to really get on Jason here, because he only got $20,000 bail. And I don't think he should be free now. Remember, Rakia's still out there. And obviously, $20,000 don't mean nothing to a guy who made $4 million and was willing to play bumper car with a $400,000 car. So tell me how that $20,000 is going to keep him from bothering her again.
And while you're explaining that, because this is in Miami, right? This is your territory. This is your jurisdiction. Yep. What is a felony fleeing?
So the felony fleeing is that you committed a felony and you flee afterwards. Plain and simple, right? So that's what it is. And
so the felony wasn't stalking her. The felony was hitting the cop,
hitting the cop and hitting her car. It was the use of a deadly weapon, a car that was targeting to go ahead and hit her car or cause harm, a car can be considered a deadly weapon in the state of Florida.
So when I'm on Instagram and I see all these fights that break out and somebody jumps in their car and they ram the person, that's basically felony, and then they drive up, that's felony fleeing. So for the operators, when you catch your boyfriend cheating and you think you're going to take your car and hit him or something, that could be an additional charge.
Yep. So take your bicycle instead and do that. So, I mean, what doesn't make sense is that $20,000 bond, bail, whatever you want to say. I mean, there's got to be a restraining order that was put into place as well. And so that restraining order is going to go ahead. And so when he comes up and he bothers her next time, she can go ahead and say, I got this piece of paper. You better leave me alone. Because we know how much that's going to protect her. So she probably
didn't stop him. Obviously, if he gonna hit her car in front of a police station, ain't nothing stopping that. And then hit a cop trying to get away. How do you think this might affect his contract?
Sadly, I don't think it is.
Well, I disagree. I think the NFL doesn't care. The NFL sees what's going on here. He's going to get in a lot of trouble with the NFL. Probably anywhere from a 6 to a 9 game suspension. That's a lot of money. The NFL doesn't care that the case is still pending and the case is all of this. The NFL is going to crack down on this, and they have their own system of justice. And this is going to cost him money, even though, just prelude to the next case, Stefon Diggs got to play in the Super Bowl.
There you go. Absolutely. All right. Stefon Diggs playing the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk about his case, but we can talk about 3 different criminal actions. The bottom line with the NFL is that normally, unless you've been convicted of a crime or you pled guilty to a crime, you don't get suspended if we don't have a video. So if we see you knocking somebody out in the elevator, then we'll do that. If we see you tackling a woman in the elevator like Kareem Hunt near the elevator, then we can get you. But if we don't have a video, the NFL really doesn't care. And this guy, by the way, is good. That's the crazy part is. All right, he was third in voting for the NFL rookie defensive rookie of the year. Broke the all-time rookie record for quarterback pressures, whatever that means. And the bottom line is this guy is a guy who's going to be a star, okay? And I got to tell you, sadly, they allow a lot of craziness if you can tackle the quarterback.
He's still going to be a star. I'm telling you now. He's still going to be a star. He's going to go through anger management. He's going to get penalized, and he's going to go ahead and he's going to turn it around, and he's going to be a star. But, he better start listening to his mom when, she said that he's going to get what's coming to him, and he does. Be careful.
I know. Careful. She did. She was talking about the good stuff. All right, let's jump down to some of these comments. High Maintenance says, I think they just had a similar case in Texas that didn't end well. Buzzy Bigelow 77 says he sounds dangerous, not cool at all. Brenda K says, is it something in the water in Florida? Yes, they're crazy down there. There's always some crazy going on down there. Check the brains of those athletes on a regular. Too many hits to the head. Mimi Miss Monica says, oh, girl needs a pow to stand her ground. Stand her ground is in Florida too, right?
Yep.
FL Warrior says he needs a mental health evaluation. Leandria 7140 says, and then they let him go like they don't watch the news. Now, let me ask you this really quickly. So technically, counselors, she can drop her charges, but the charges of fleeing felony and deadly weapon is still going to stick, right?
Absolutely. And she doesn't really she can say she's not going to cooperate with the charges, and usually that helps. But I assume they got video out in front of the police station. So they don't need her testimony to know he ran into her car, right? They'll have her voice on the phone saying, hey, he's trying to get me. So they won't need her to testify at trial. So even if they make up, and Rakia, you are too fine, all right, and talented for him. All right, you are my favorite player on the Los Angeles Sparks. I don't even know if y'all play the game or not. I just watch you. All right, you too fine for that, girl. Stop it.
Sandra McGee said he's going to get suspended. Caramel 1977 says they got rid of Kaepernick for taking a knee quietly, but this fool gets away with all kinds of foolery. Yep, Christine Art there was a football game,
I assume.
Oh, game. I thought that was a Bad Bunny concert. You know what? Fuzzy Bigelow says check his brain for Fishers. Essie Stone said he just blew that. Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting to see how that is handled. All right, counselors, tell us 1 to 9. What is How strong is this case that he's going to jail?
He's going to jail. Jail 2. He's gonna get in trouble with the NFL 9.
Okay, Attorney Carter.
Yes, sadly, probably. I think it's 2 and 2, like Chuck Willery. I don't think neither one's going to happen.
That's interesting. So you don't think the NFL values the money more than they value him hitting a cop or jeopardizing a woman's life?
Oh, please, they don't care about. Think about it. It's Savant out there. We're gonna see running a whole crime rings. They let him play in the Super Bowl. All right, and if he won, they let him do 2, 3, 4 more crimes.
Wow. All right, everybody, you heard it right here. From felonies and flashing lights to civil court chaos, where the allegations are defamation, assault, and a headline that screams, somebody's been watching too many crime shows. Stefon Diggs, welcome back to Celebrity Court. Our last case, Stefon Diggs, currently, he just played in the Super Bowl with the New England Patriots. He's facing another civil lawsuit. Reports say the new complaint includes allegations like defamation and other claims tied to a chain of events that reportedly began with a stolen Ferrari allegation, then spiraled into conflict and alleged violence involving multiple people. And let me be clear, this is separate from the paternity dispute with Aline Lopera, which has been reported as resolved or dismissed. So in this case, Dag, he's got like 3 different charges: defamation, civil conspiracy, vicarious liability, and discovery nightmare is what this sounds like to me. All right, Attorney Carter, break this down for us. How long has this been going on? And help me understand what's happening, because I'm not getting any of it. Right. Who stole whose Ferrari? How did it happen? Who did he beat up this time?
Right. So Stefon wanted to move his Ferrari. I believe it was from New York to Florida, or vice versa. And so he hired a guy to drive his car. And the guy drives from one city to another via Houston. And the guy says, "Hey, they stole your car in Houston." And Stefon said, No, they didn't steal my car. You stole my damn car. All right.
What?
And the guy says, no, the police. He went to the police. The police says, we got to think about it. It's Houston. You're going to get your car stolen if you live in Houston. That's how Houston works, right? And so Stefon's like, no. So he sends his boys to get him, right? He goes right down to Jason's neck of the woods to the Tootsie, what was it? Tootsie, some strip club.
Yeah.
And
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I know. And
the cheeseburgers are good there, Jason. You took me there.
I don't know. But anyway, the point is this, though, is that while he's there, Stefon's brother, who's just 2 of his brothers, there, some other guys, and they beat the guy up. And he says in the fight, he got a torn ACL. By the way, if you're a guy out there, that's not the right thing to say you got in a fight, because you get a torn ACL from running away. That's how you get a torn ACL, right? You want to say you got a torn rotator cuff, you broke your hand, even if you got to go home and break your hand. All right, don't come to the police station talking about, oh, I hurt my leg trying to run out the back door. All right. So he gonna lose some. He definitely not gonna win that case because there's some punk points there. You aren't gonna win that one. But he is saying, hey, you ruined my concierge business. You told everybody I was a thief, and now nobody come to me. What's crazy to me though is, who gonna come to you anyway if you gonna get that car stolen? All right, if you get my $500,000 car stolen, I don't care if you stole it or not. I'm riding the bus, right? Yep. And so you lost your concierge business. The real question is, to talk to Stefon, you really, really got to choose better. All right, girlfriend, baby mamas, and kind of people to drive your car around, because you don't choose right at all.
So I heard he's going in. I heard he's going to start doing.
Cardi B was a good choice.
No, he's going to start doing country music songs. Right? They stole my car. I lost in the Super Bowl. I lost Cardi B. I got 6 baby mamas. That's his new thing, right? Country music songs.
What's the civil conspiracy?
That it was a whole plan to steal the car. That this whole thing was planned out beforehand. We're going to transport his car, meaning we're going to take his car, we're going to keep it, we're going to sell it, we're going to put the money in our pocket, and then we're going to tell Stefon Diggs, oh, sorry, someone stole your car, make an insurance report. Win, win, win all around, and he can add that to his country music song.
Let me ask both of you guys something that I'm sure a lot of the algoritmors are wondering. Is all of this attention that Stefon gets that's really negative as it relates to baby mamas, as it relates to Cardi B, breaking up, staying together, all these accusations of him assaulting people, Is this good for him, renewing his contract? Is this something that teams want in their clubhouse?
Absolutely not. If he would have had a game to remember in the Super Bowl and named MVP and all of that, that's what would have gotten him. These are all things that take away from the team, the distractions. I don't think Robert Kraft is going to be thrilled about this, and I don't think a lot of the NFL GMs and owners are going to be thrilled with the antics off the field.
Fuzzy Bigelow says, I bet Al has cheeseburger with extra sauce. You're absolutely right. Probably extra cheese. Colette Davis says he's getting in trouble and breaking up with Cardi B, just problematic. I think he's got a little bit of problematic going on.
You think a little bit?
He's so talented, though. But look, I didn't know how talented his entire family was. His brother, just came off the heels of a $45 million contract.
Yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't. I mean, this is a pretty talented family, right?
Yeah, and his brother stays in a top one out of the press. He's the smart one. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just tell you the case against Stefon Diggs from a criminal thing. 0 case against him getting a contract is not going to be great. Probably an 8.
Okay. All right, Carter.
Yeah, I mean, I would say I'd say that the case against him here in the civil is probably not so much. Whether the NFL can give him a contract really depends on how many more women he get pregnant before the offseason start. I think it's like a 10, 20, 30 baby mama policy the NFL has, and he's right near the limit. So whatever the limit is, he needs to try to only have 2 or 3 more baby mamas before the season starts.
All right, with 2 minutes left, let's go to the jury. Jury, it's that time. It's that time, jury. Get ready to jump down in the chat to give that guilty or not guilty verdict here in the celebrity court public of the celebrity court. The celebrity court of public opinion. First up, the case against Judge Faith and Kenny Lattimore. Are they guilty or not guilty? Is Google and YouTube guilty or not guilty of ruining their marriage? Is Google and YouTube guilty or not guilty of ruining their marriage? Drop down in the chat. Is Google or YouTube guilty or not guilty of ruining their marriage? Drop down in the chat. Guilty or not guilty? Is Google or YouTube not guilty? SL Warrior says not guilty. Tracy Odom says not guilty. Mimi says not guilty. All right, not guilty. We're going to find the YouTube and Google not guilty for ruining Judge Faith and Kenny Lattimore's marriage. Next up, we have Cosby. Is Bill Cosby guilty or not guilty of not taking the Quaaludes, but giving the Quaaludes to steal those ladies' Tootsie Cat? Is Bill Cosby guilty or not guilty of not taking the Quaaludes, but using the Quaaludes to get those ladies' Tootsie Cat? SL Warrior says guilty. Editor says guilty. Mimi says guilty. Bill Cosby, you found guilty in the court of public opinion. Next up, Pearce Jr. Pearce Jr., is he guilty or not guilty for chasing that lady and trying to kill her? Is Pearce Jr. guilty or not guilty of chasing that lady and allegedly trying to kill her? Erica P. says not guilty. Essie Stone says guilty. Leandria says not guilty. High Maintenance says guilty. Brenda K. says guilty. And Davis 6251 guilty. Pearce Jr., you found guilty here in Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. Last but not least, the last case, is Diggs guilty or not guilty of not getting it together and just having all types of problems? Is Diggs guilty or not guilty? Essie Stone says guilty. Dominic Starr says guilty. Sandra McGee says guilty. Editor says guilty. Stefon Diggs, you've been found guilty once again here in Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. All right, tonight we learned something simple. When AI can print a lie in your voice, truth sometimes may need enforcement, not vibes. When sworn testimony lives forever, PR can't unsay what the record already said. You said you used it to get the Tootsie Cat. When a high-speed chase enters the story, the law stops caring about your potential and starts caring about public danger. And when defamation and violence claims stack up in civil court, the real opponent isn't the internet. It's called discovery. In real court, you're innocent until proven guilty. In this court, your choices speak so loud the culture has to hear it, and our jury decides if you're guilty or not guilty. I'm Judge Al Reynolds. This is Celebrity Court of Public Opinion. Don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and drop the next case you want on my docket. Court is now adjourned. Thank you for watching.